defect, a big one. I began to consider the possibility that I was actually supposed to have been born a boy. I was good at sports, I liked to play outdoors, and I thought girls were really pretty. So naturally, I'd been praying to God really hard, asking Him to give me a sign to let me know how to go about addressing what I now thought, at that point, was a birth defect. I went with my family to the only sit-down restaurant in Wellsville for dinner one evening. This was a rare occurrence for us to actually get to go out and eat. I was excited, and I knew just what I wanted to order, the Salisbury Steak dinner. We were seated, and our waitress came to our table with a tray of ice water. We knew her. Everyone in that town knew everyone, but we knew her as a friend of the family. She had played on the high school girls softball team that my mom and dad had coached a year or so before. She started making small talk with my folks, talking about school and her new softball team. I was seated nearer to her than my folks were. They were next to the wall in the booth, and I was the closest to where she stood. Her leg kept bumping my leg as she chatted and laughed next to me. She held the empty ice water tray over my head as if it were a little shelter she'd built for me. Because I was seated and she was standing, I was on eye level with her breasts. I looked at them in her tight t-shirt, and then I forced myself to look away. It wasn't right, I thought to myself. There must be something wrong with me. I was born in the wrong body. I was defective. I told myself not to look again, but I couldn't resist. I checked to see if my brother was staring at her chest too. He wasn't. He was busy trying to blow the paper wrapper off the drinking straw into the light fixture dangling above our heads. He's straight, by the way. I suppose our waitress informed my family about the dinner specials that night, but I really can't be sure. I don't remember. After being fixated on those breasts for a good 2 minutes, a long time for a 12-year-old girl in Wellsville, Kansas to be staring at a 17-year-old girl's boobs, I got a sign. I finally actually noticed the words ironed onto that t-shirt she was wearing. Written in red capital letters was the message, God don't make mistakes. I felt on that night that I was okay. I had hope and some comfort for a while at least, that I was just as I was supposed to be. The beautiful young waitress turned to me and asked me for my order, and I shouted a little too enthusiastically, "Salisbury steak dinner, please." She smiled. "Okay, sweetie," replied God's buxom, cheerful messenger. Then she tapped me on the head with her pencil and bounced off toward the kitchen.